Hello, guys, it's Psychosis here again, and today I've got another book review as I've started reviewing books besides talking about metal music. And today it's special, kind of special, because today I'll be reviewing my first non-fiction book on this channel, and that is Bernd Heinrich's Mind of the Raven, which I originally read a couple years ago. And yeah, but I have a good enough idea of what the book is about. As I said, it's a nonfiction book. It's not a fiction book, and it's a really cool book. In all honesty, I kind of just spoil what my thoughts are on it, but it is pretty cool in my opinion. And so yeah, as you can see, it just has a raven on the cover, and and if you kind of got a hint by it, that's what this book's about: ravens. And so Bernd Heinrich is actually a scientist or a researcher, and this book is about his studies. He lives in Vermont and Maine, and he also traveled around the world to places with ravens, and he got to study them. It's really cool, and he wanted to learn about them and do research. So this whole book is basically his research that he did over a wide span of years. And yeah, it's just really cool. And where he lives, he has his aviary, and lots of his studies were done there. It's really cool. And yeah, and the way this book works is structured is that's kind of what it is. He just talks about his research. Each chapter is about a different study that he did, or a little experiment, you could say. And I mean, that kind of leads to one of the biggest flaws of this book that people kind of criticize it for is it's not like standard research book. It's more like him just talking about what he did in normal story form and about his personal experiences and stuff and his enjoyment. And you're kind of not supposed to do that, but I think that's what makes this book fun is he does it that way. And otherwise, if it were more like a scientific article, I get really bored. Scientific articles are really boring to read, even though they're really chock filled with information. But this book just plays out like a normal book. Each chapter he talks about himself, what he's done, the research he's doing, all the cool findings. And yeah, and throughout the book he keeps finding new things out about them, and it makes them even cooler because ravens are really awesome. I like ravens, and I think that's why I wanted this book. Was I saw a book about ravens and I was like, ooh, I want this book. And so I got it for Christmas years ago, and I read it, and yeah, it's a good book. It's about 300-400 pages long, and yeah, I'm kind of not really sure what to say about it. It's just research. It's really cool. In the beginning of the book, he takes some eggs from the wild raven eggs, and he raises them and names them, and they're kind of like his poster children for his studies. He studies them a lot, the ones, and he names them all. For some reason, though, the only ones I can remember or the name is Goliath, which is the biggest one, and it was this male raven. He was pretty cool. And I think there was one named Blue and Red and White. I don't remember. I knew some were color names, but right now I can't exactly remember the names he named all of them. There were a mix of male and female ravens. But it was just really cool because they lived in his aviary and he studied them for many years before he released them to the wild. And it's just cool because he kind of like raised them from babies at the beginning of the book, and he talked about it and why it's hard to have ravens because they eat so much. And it's just a fun beginning of the book. And yeah, and that's what makes this book fun. It's just a research book about ravens. And I really enjoyed it, but like I said, it's a nonfiction book. I find nonfiction books harder to read than fiction books. They're just not as fun or exciting. It's more about research information, but he tries to make it fun. It plays out more like a book and less like a research paper, and I think that's why I like it so much. And he also likes birds in general. This isn't his only book on birds. I saw his other ones, and he also used to run marathons and stuff. So he even has a book on running. So he does write about what he enjoys, and I like that. because that's what you should do. If you should write about what you enjoy, what you know about. It's easier, and if you enjoy it, you're more likely to finish it. And yeah, so that's kind of the basic thoughts of Mind of the Raven. It's just 340-page book about a man's study of ravens, and that he didn't really find too much. He found cool new things, but there still leads to more questions about them because they're just so intelligent and they're so cool birds. I love ravens, and so getting this book was like awesome for me. And I still think of it fondly, even though I haven't picked it up and read it in a while. But I imagine I could. And the fun thing is, like I said, each chapter is like about a different study he did. So you don't even have to technically read the book. I mean, you can if you want to, because each chapter is about a different experiment he did, going through each chronological years. Because he did this studies over like many years, at least like 10 years, I think. And yeah, it's just really cool book. I liked it. But like I said, it's not my favorite book. It kind of drags on a little bit. That's everything though. But it's just a nonfiction book, so it tends to feel like it does more than the other ones. And yeah. And then a fiction book. But it's fun. It's about his experiences though. But the only reason people don't get points is because he writes more of like a fun book about him and his experience, his enjoyment and personal experiences, rather than writing as you should a research paper. But like I said, that's what makes it fun. And so, as a final rating, I think I'll give this book about a 7 out of 10, 7, 8 out of 10. It's a really good nonfiction book. If you love ravens, this will probably be like a 9 out of 10. It's awesome. And like I said, it's not, you don't have to write about it, read in order. And here. And see, in some of the chapters, there's pictures he has. I don't know if you can see that. See, he has pictures. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That wasn't the best one. Oh, here's a better one. Oh yeah, see, here's one of them named Fuzz, according to the caption there. I don't know if you can tell, but see, he's got ravens and stuff and old pictures in his aviary. It's just really cool. It's just a cool book in that regard. But yeah, I think as a final rating, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 if you like ravens. So if you love ravens, this is the book for you. Like, I think that everyone who loves ravens should own this book or at least read it once, because it's just really good. But if you like birds, you'll like it. If you just want to read something new, you'll like it. And the title's kind of fun, Mind of the Raven, because they are pretty interesting birds. They're the literal definition of more than meets the eye from Transformers, because they continue to like impress people with what they know and what they can do. Like corvids, especially ravens, are just really intelligent birds. And yeah, that's my review for Mind of the Raven by Bernd Heinrich. Like I said, he's got other books too. This is the only one I own and have read by him. But he's got a few I'm interested in. He's got other ones on birds. He loves to study birds. And he also has a book on running, because he used to run and do marathons and stuff when he was younger. And so I kind of want to read that one, because I used to enjoy running when I was younger too, when I was in middle school, high school. But yeah, that'll be my review of Mind of the Raven by Bernd Heinrich. It's kind of mere reflection, but that's my review of the book. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and let me know if there's any other books you want me to review or check out, because I'm always interested in checking out new books, especially in fantasy. I really want to get into fantasy reading, because I've always read them in sparingly small portions when I was in middle school, high school, my younger years, but I have definitely not dipped my feet deep in the waters, especially in reading and fantasy. But I'm interested in reading more, and so if you have any suggestions, I'll be glad to hear them and to check out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the review. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.